Cisco instructor Andrea here, and I want to do a little tutorial on how to access the Cisco Lab virtual machine. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to locate on your screen the Cisco Lab. So we're going to go ahead and open up the Cisco Lab, and here we're beginning to get access into our virtual machine. I'm going to just go ahead and leave it this size because I can size it later, but if you want to go full screen, you can move that up to large, but let's just leave it where it's at. So I'm going to do show options. Next, click on local resources. From here, I want you to click on the more button, and we're going to check mark the drives and check mark other supported plug and play devices. This will allow us to use a thumb drive in our virtual machine so that you can save your assignments. So let's click OK, and now we're going to connect the device. It goes pretty quick. Now the password is always going to be the same thing. It's going to be class, all little letters, CLASS. Okay, and so now I'm in the virtual machine here, okay? It's a good idea to bring up your command prompt and check the IP address. So if we look at the IP address, we're going to have a 10 address, which is actually the address of Glendale Community College's network. So we can see right there, gccaz.edu is our domain. Now that we're up in our virtual machine, the next thing we want to do is we want to be able to set this device up so that it will access our Cisco Router Lab. To do that, we need to go here to our patch panel. So when we're plugged into the black jack, we're plugged into the GCC network. So what I want to do is I want to unplug this and I want to move it into one of the red jacks. Now if you're at the North Campus, it's slightly different. You're going to be using a white biscuit and it will say Cisco or GCC on it. So let's go ahead and now we're plugging this in. Now what's happening is it's making this device go back and connect into the Cisco Router Lab. Okay, so in order to check whether or not it's moved over, we can go back to our command prompt and type ipconfig. Now notice here, it's still a 10 address. It's going to take probably a minute, maybe a little longer, for this device to get back to the Cisco Lab and get a Cisco address. So if I type ipconfig again, next, if you can see here, I've got a 169 address. That's a good sign. That means it's still looking. The Cisco Lab has a 172 IPv4 address. So as soon as we see a 172, we'll know that it's back. So here we go. Our virtual machine is now connected to our Cisco Lab, and I've got the 172 address. I just made this a full screen so that I can see everything, and now from here, I'm connected back to the Cisco Lab and I can begin to build a little network. If you want to close out your virtual machine, it's very easy. Just close all of the applications that you've opened. And let's go ahead. You can either move your jack back now to the GCC side, which will give your virtual machine internet access, or we can just close it out by clicking on the file and exit. And now our virtual machine is closed. The next step is you do want to remember to move your jack back to the GCC side. So we're just going to move back to GCC. Again, it will take a few minutes. It's got to find the GCC network and get a GCC address. So that's how you access the virtual lab with this little icon.